Welcome to Toffee TV. We are live at 5:04. That's not bad for us, that.
Not bad.
5:04, that's not bad. I think it's because we're on YouTube, essentially. So we've... So warm, I think we just want to get home.
Yeah.
While there's still heat out. I think there's going to be heat out there for a while.
You think? It's
think
just roasting, mate. It's roasting.
It's
ridiculous in here.
Yeah.
How warm it is.
Tell us, are you watching out in the garden? Are you working? Are you driving around in a car? Not watching, obviously, just listening through the radio, because you can't do that. Are you in the sunshine? Are you avoiding the sunshine? Like me, Matty, the producer, we can't go out in the sun. This is vampire weather. This is vampire weather. Like, literally, you know, when you see films and like vampires go out in the sun and they're like, and they burn and stuff. That's based on gingers.
Fair play.
That's based on ginger people. Matty basically could be Dorian Gray. Look at him. Look at him, he's Dorian Gray.
I'll keep it in those, please, mate.
Look how white and ginger he is. He makes me look Mediterranean. That's how ginger and white he is.
Hilarious.
What's going on in the comments? Anyway, fastest selling away kit of all time. Apparently, we've got ours.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice.
Didn't you say though it's really hot?
It was just roasting. Absolutely roasting. Maybe outside on a foot.
See, I haven't worn mine yet, but I've worn my training gear and I've run in my training gear, and that's quite
great.
light. And what amazes me is they're all made of the same thing. They're all made. It's 100% polyester, and yeah, it's just weird the way some things are heavy and lighter than stuff.
It just felt roasting, but it was on that leather chair, so it's probably when you're out playing, it's not as bad. It just felt really hot.
There's more chance of you sitting in a leather chair than you being out playing.
Nowadays there is. Yeah, exactly. Where are we up to? Right, let's go. Sophie says, evening lads, you worried about the lack of transfer movements. Who do you think we'll bring in? I'll be disappointed if we don't get Alan. I'm disappointed that 4 of the thumbs down nonsense are in already. The Reds straight in. They're actually probably a couple of Blues, to be fair, who watch other people. Are you worried about the lack of transfer activity? No.
I'd like to have signed 8 players by now. But, I think there's an article online. I think it's one in one of the broadsheets saying this could be the most frustrating transfer window for every club.
Just because of what's going on.
Because there are so many issues in the way. You've got...
Look at the incoming video call and I can't take it.
Who's it from? Oh, the big man. Big Steve. Get him on. Tell him he's on live.
I can't.
Message him and tell him you'll get ringing back at 6. I mean, that's just the way it is on Toffee TV. Incoming video calls from big people. Good DF. Yeah, he said could be one of the most frustrating transfer windows because you've got teams playing at the moment. You've got the financial situation, and you've got players' lack of ability to move round. I mean, just imagine bringing someone in for a medical. They've got a quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go to them, but if you go to them, do you have to quarantine for 14 days? Like these are the genuine issues that we're faced with. So
Can't they
have like a rabies passport?
Can't they cut that time down though by doing the testing on them? Or is it because you might be asymptomatic? Is that what it is?
It's that's the whole issue with it, isn't it? Being asymptomatic.
So difficult, isn't it?
So there's so many things in the way.
Mad. Listen, get the likes up, because the fact that so many
but also
Muppets have come in with the thumbs down.
Get your questions. Get your good.
No, there's loads.
No, but listen, we've said this before. We're not a charity. Get your good questions in, right? We don't just pamper to anyone.
Oh, okay.
Good questions on whatever.
Liam Hughes loves our videos since they're amazing. Loves watching them. James Patrick said, would you rather have Action Man-sized feet or never watch football again?
Hang on.
But like the figure, that Action Man with his feet are that big, you need to walk.
Well, Action Man's feet big.
Does he mean...
No, does he
Is
mean...
he like life size?
Are we talking in proportion?
That's what I mean. Because
See, I used to...
you wouldn't be able to walk.
See, I had Action Man's hair very recently.
Yeah, you had it the other week.
So-
it was good. It was good.
So...
Daniel Stokes says Action Man feet!
Can you explain what Action... I don't know whether you're saying Action Man feet has weird proportionate sizes on the toy, or whether actual size of Action Man's feet. Because if we had Action Man's feet, we wouldn't be able to physically do anything.
I know.
So...
I don't know. Mean Bot went to the barbers yesterday where Jared Brantwaite does, and he asked the barber, do you know Jared Brantwaite? And the barber said, yeah, he comes here. And he said, do mine like this.
Is that in Kendall? It's in Kendall, I think, isn't it?
Howard. Ian Clark says, how do you do? Lenny says, thoughts on the Alan St. Maxim rumours? Chico's done the world, hasn't he? Chico has done the world here with this.
Oh my God. Keith
Keith
Azul
has done
is
the world.
he's one of the
Keith Azul,
best.
he is one of the most accurate, so there you
It's
go.
him. And then I always think him, Joyce Myers.
Yeah.
That's my holy trinity.
There you go, twos.
They're my holy trinity.
Fair play. Stephen Poynton says, where your magic, Baz and Ped get an interview with Baines. We're working on it. Harry's watching.
Well, I'm getting my haircut on Friday in Cutthroat.
Oh, there you go.
So
He'll probably be there. Ross Barkley and John Stones will all be sat there
triple
when you
interview.
go. Harry T says he's watching from inside because in North Wales it's thundering and throwing it down. They can get rid of that because I'm off there at the weekends. Austin Linton says hopefully Brands gets a player or two in before long. That's what we want, isn't it? Matty's just broke his headphones and he's sat over there fuming.
You broke your headphones?
Captured on me wig, my helmet.
Your hair has just broke your headphones.
Literally just went like this.
Incredible.
What
And
the hell?
It got stuck in my ear. So I pulled it and it just broke. Put them every hand.
What kind of headphones are they?
Pro Signal. They're like made.
Oh,
like
yeah, from the
proper
Aldi, yeah.
sound.
Okay, Jake Thompson says howdy. Terry McAllister says, oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah.
And we've been introducing Baz to the room. And at first he was like, yesterday, if anyone watched Live at 5 yesterday on Patreon, he was like, turn that nonsense off. And then
Nonsense.
I've just sneakily caught him watching YouTube videos of it going.
Because you were saying
he's like,
this, you're playing
oh,
it.
hi, Mark.
I needed to know. Joe Hilton says, unlucky Gary. Gary says, howdy, afternoon. Says
Lisa
Everton,
loves you like a friend.
says Everton Viking. Mike Barrett says, Jake Thompson's gone full Mr. Ripley. William Gilligan says, shalom. Lewis says, no sweat da. EFC lad says, hello. Adam Conroy says, do we think Gabriel could become another Zuma situation? Also, I'm going to Alton Towers this weekend. Have either of you been? All the best.
Not for a while, mate.
I've been, but not for a good few years.
No, not for a while. But
the likes of Air and that were good.
do us a favour though,
Nemesis.
give me I need a report on whether wasps are still flying around the bins.
Of course they are.
I need to
It's
know
like
that. Because that was always the thing when you went there as a kid at school. Wasps around bins are like this. That's the number one attraction around Towers.
That's
for
like
me.
a staple.
Trademark.
A staple.
And do they still have that dome where you go in and you sit down and it's like the Mini drives off the cliff and you're like,
Oh, I don't know.
once you've been to Florida,
Yeah,
you're
never
like,
go back.
you're never going back to Alton Towers. You're just sitting there going, what is that?
This is rubbish.
Why am I queuing for an hour and there's no like video entertainment?
No. Adam, well, his first thing was, do you think Gabriel could be like the Zuma situation?
I don't know. No, because there'll be a decision to be made because he's not staying with Lille, is he? He's moving. So it depends where he moves. There's a video on Patreon right now, Gabriel latest.
Check that out. Lewis says, you heard the news about Big Dunk, knew he was hard, but UFC is another level.
Maybe that's what he was ringing
what
for.
he was ringing for, yeah. Matthew Barry says, evening lads, interesting to see Premier League clubs have taken full allocation of TV and prize money and agreed to pay the broadcaster rebate back over a few seasons. Do you think this might get the market up and running?
Yeah.
Couple of
signings will get it up and running.
Kean says, all right, lads, hope you've invested in aircon. Kean, I can confirm to you that there is not a single bit of air in this
It's
season.
not that warm in here, though, I don't think. I don't think it's like roasting.
It's not roasting, but and I've got this on my knee, which is making it warm. There's no air, though, in it.
We're going to open
It's
some
the window.
windows. The windows are not open.
Open the window, Matty.
I mean, that felt like it was an order rather than just a request.
Please, if you don't mind,
But you know what, though?
Oh, yeah.
I think Matty deserves it. He's turned up in that yellow away kit
I like that kit.
that we wore when we went to
Colo.
America. No,
Colo kit.
but he's wearing a footy kit.
Top,
in
next one,
this-
Matt. Next one up.
He's wearing a footy kit.
Pull it. Push it up,
my
mate. That's
God.
it.
He's wearing a
And
footy
then
kit
pull
in this-
towards you. Sorted, kid.
He's wearing a footy kit in this weather.
Okay. Gareth says, talking about not watching the actually live the other night. Gareth, you literally done that comment yesterday, so I'm reading it again. Rob Dugan says, all right, lads, you think Ancelotti and Brands are comfortable bringing in one centre midfield player, maybe a Decore, with the hope that Gammon comes in to replace Guy?
Gammon's on the south coast chasing away dinghies at the moment.
I hope that isn't what they're thinking. It wouldn't surprise me if they are, but we need two. One isn't enough, in my opinion. Bobby C says, if we signed a player that's for our development squad rather than going straight into the first team, then what's the maximum age, in your opinion, for such a player? If a player is in the first team squad material by 2021, then in my opinion, he shouldn't be at Everton. Yeah, pretty similar. I think, like, I hope in Kunku at 19 is probably like that's like the borderline that you bring them in for that. But then he'll be brought in and hopefully develop for the first team only. Andrew Hughes says he's in the house in Conway. It's about to thunder. It's gone really dark.
I think it's going to hit here at 9, I think.
Matthew Rapton says he's watching in Reading. It's about to rain. Me and Bob says can't go outside because in Cumbria there's a storm. Ryan James says, hello lads, who do you think will go out the door first? It needs to be Gylfi or Davis out on loan. I'd love it to be Gylfi, just for wages and everything, but I can't see
I
it.
think we're going to really struggle to get rid of players.
Yeah, we probably will.
I think we're really going to struggle. I think that's where the problem is.
Where are we? Joseph Cross says, hi Baz, how are you? You've been helping raise funds for Gary Stevens and auctioned a lot of his signed memorabilia off. Also, Andy Mitchell is on Twitter trying to raise awareness for Bloodstem. We could invite Andy onto your show and try and reach out to more Blues. Gary Stevens' son needs a donor, would be brilliant. Andy can come in. Andy Mitchell can come in. Just let us know in advance so we can make the arrangements. Tell him to get in touch with us. And we can spread that awareness. Anything he needs, retweeting or anything like that as well. AJ No said, played full Red Dead 2 campaign. Makes me very angry at the end. No spoilers, but incredible game.
Hang on. The end. Does it make you angry because you've played Red Dead 1? Or does it just make, I don't know, context, but without giving spoilers away?
Where are we?
Where are you?
Alex Gore says, who do you think had the best ever single season at Everton? Lukaku 2016-17 comes to mind. Gary Lineker. 40 goals.
Gary Lineker, definitely.
Niall Peckham says, what colour do you want the away kit to be? It's there. Or do you mean the third kit? No
kit.
comment. Ian Dodd said, who's the player you really want us to sign? There's no point me answering, is it?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Because I know we need a centre midfielder, but I don't know if there's one particular one that really stands out for me that I'd go, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind Decore if we could get him.
Blue Cali, what's your opinion on the Blue Boys? Who are the Blue Boys network?
Don't even know how you answered that question.
Don't know who you're talking about, to be honest. Anthony Chow says, why no chatter about Ben Foster from Watford?
Because he signed a new 2-year contract.
Signed a new deal, mate. He's not going to leave. One of them things. Stephen Caldy says, what about winger Bertrand Traore from Lyon, is he a true target? I don't know. We were linked with him heavily. I know we looked at him last year and we spoke to Leon about him last year. I don't know whether he's still a target 12 months later. He was linked the other day. I don't know. Real Source says, back in the 60s, would you have been a mod or a rocker?
I
think
probably
I'd have been
mod.
a mod, yeah. The little moped and
The scooter, yeah.
the scooter and...
Yeah.
Probably,
I wouldn't
don't
have the energy to be a rocker.
No. Not a wish, especially in this weather. EFC HD's just been watching twerking. Fair play to you, mate, whatever you do. Lee Downing says Leon Bailey is a must.
A must, eh?
He is good. Bailey's one of them players where if you get him right, he'd be devastating and be incredible for us, but it's one of them, isn't it? Andy McGregor says, "You're so funny, Mark."
Oh, Mark, you're so funny.
Matthew Lamb says, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa."
That's exactly right.
It's going off, isn't it? It's going off. Chris McNutt says, "What's the point of?" And then he didn't follow
Orange
up.
clubs.
Oh, wasps. What is the point of wasps?
There must
Someone
be a
told
point.
me that
Well, they'll help germinate flowers, won't they?
not just that, it's like they get rid of other insects that are pesticides, I think. Like that. Yeah, I don't see any point to them
There's
because I
literally-
hate them. But
there's literally
there's a reason for
I think
them.
there's a point to every animal bar us. No, honestly, I think there is. Like, there's a point to everything in the world bar us. We are the anomaly, and that's why we're destroying the planet.
Okay. Sean says nobody wants to buy other clubs' deadwood. The key is not to buy rubbish.
We do. We seem to make a
We
habit
like
of it.
Christian goes on to quantify his, what's the point of wasps? Wasps are absolute houses of nature.
Yeah.
Can't sort out what the point of them is. Have a look, Christian. I'm sure there is like a thing.
They always look confused.
They don't look confused when they fly at you.
But that's what I'm saying.
Just
Like,
knob it. They like come in and go. Oh, and they're like,
why
putting the
don't?
check.
That's what
Why
I'm
are they
saying.
having a go at you?
They're confused at like what they're doing. Like I was doing this, and then I told, what am I doing now? And then they go,
Why are they having
ah,
a go at you?
because you're there.
Maybe they're Evertonians. They're just dead angry because things aren't going well. They're just beauts.
Sign someone brands.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're literally fume. Adventures of Steve says, would you rather Gabrielle or Zuma? Gabrielle. Because we've had Zuma.
I
He's
don't want
younger,
Zuma.
left-footed.
I don't want to, mate.
Gavin says, why has Dominic Calvert-Lewin been given so many chances, but Tosin and Kean haven't?
One scores goals, the other two don't.
There's no real other way to put that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I need to make it any simpler for you.
No,
One
don't.
scores goals, the other two don't. Hello?
Phil Broders says, I guess we still need to dump 4 or 5 players before buying anyone. I think they're in the process of negotiations for a couple of players. And the thing is, like, there's a real fine line, I think, with transfers, with Everton, with Evertonians. And we see this when people will throw out the likes of Balassi and throw like Sigurdsson and throw other people who we've gone for. And if you're negotiating and you've got a price in your head that you think a player's worth, then why go above it if the selling club hasn't battered you away from the table? And I think with Everton, it's with every fan, it's not just Evertonians, because I seen this the other day with Liverpool fans over Lewis at Norwich. Just pay the money, you're knobheads, and blah, 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 blah. And all that, right? But at the end of the day, if the club has a value on a player, the buying club, why do we go above that to spend it if the club don't think he's worth it? And that's what you've got to... It's frustrating as anything, because us as fans, all we want is Everton to be better. And every club's fans wants their team to be better. And they want the money. You just want to go and get the players you need. But if there's a certain amount of money and you have to divvy it up, you can't just go and spunk it over players who you don't think are worth it. That's why we're where we are at the moment.
Just Lynn. Towson's boss. You'd love him at West Brom.
I do all right at West Brom.
You'd love Towson, honestly.
For a year or so.
If you
Get
play,
yourself
no,
steady.
he'd be like Rondon. For use. He would exactly be the same. You would love Towson, honestly. Love him. Lynn. Goes to townhouse as well, apparently. Allegedly. Doesn't like, but, you know. You could meet him in there. Yeah.
Where are we? Do you think when Everton signs for Everton, he will live in Everton?
Well, he's signing for Benfica.
He's going to
unfortunately.
Benfica.
He's gone there this morning. Neil says, Baz and Ped making my football debut today. What advice would you give me from your wise old heads? What position are you playing in? And what kind of football? And who you're making your debut for? Because really, I need to know these, because really you should have made your football debut, I'd say, probably when you were about 4 or 5 or 6.
Not really.
I mean, it's a bit old in the day to be making a football debut,
How
isn't
old
it?
is he?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
He might be like 15, 14.
I had to play
No, he might just move. What he might mean is he's just moved teams.
No, I know, but he's saying his debut, so I don't know what. I can't appreciate the context.
No. Phil Broder says wasps invent a paper.
I mean, it's a bold statement.
It's a massive statement, and if it's right, then they deserve a lot of credit. But I've got me doubts. I'm not gonna lie. I have got me doubts.
Niall says Tosin is the Turkish Patrick Bamford.
Fair enough.
I mean, I've got no way to dispute that.
No. Tosin, if you add him up front with someone else and you give him chances, he will score goals, but he's not quick, so he's never gonna set the world alight, is he? Let's be honest, you've got to create chances in the penalty area for him, otherwise you're struggling. Spirit Blues says, evening all, hope everyone is well. Probably some new Geordie patrons tuning in after last night's Twitter. They'll be looking for Chico, surely. Jan Fazakli says, all right, lads, do we really need to buy a right back? Or is John Joe that bad for cover for a year? It's not that he's that bad, but we want someone who's going to come in and move Coleman out the team, really, don't we? Because Coleman's 31. John Joe's for me, is more of a wing back than a right back. If you're playing 3 at the back, then you might get away with him there, but I don't know. And I think if someone offers 15 million for him and you can convert that money to go and to get a right back.
Is John Joe Kenny the future at right back at Everton? I think he isn't, personally. I don't think he's good enough. And with Seamus's age, we need someone to go forward with that now. And I think that's what they'll be looking at. They'll be looking at thinking we need a full time replacement now, like Luca Demos. Not someone to just fill in the gap. Maybe that's where John Joe gets a year to prove himself. If we can't bring someone in, I don't know.
Who knows? Alan Williams says, love the placid discussion with the Piv about Kean as a sub. I wish Carlo would just tell him to stay in the middle and focus on scoring. Yeah. Keith says, hey lads, it's 36 here in Amsterdam. No wind, no oxygen. Scary.
But you've got loads of canals. So there's that. No, there is, isn't there? Can't you go for a nice walk by the canal?
But if no air, it's going to make any difference, is it?
There's always going to be air, isn't there? It's not an airless society. It's not the moon, is it?
Where is John Joe's getting the nod for the season, but I think we would be better negotiating a 4-year deal with another club, as I'm all for going for Dalot. I'm sure if someone bids for Kenny, Everton will sell him, because he's a saleable asset, and he's not in the team. But you can't get rid of players if nobody wants them, can you? Lucas says, what's up, fellas? Why do you think the kit sales have been so successful? New brand, quality of kit. It's very interesting. Maybe just because it's a new brand. I think people like something different.
And I think timing's an important thing as well. And everything. I think one of the things is probably because the kits have come out, and there's been nothing else going on. People want these things to look forward to at times, don't they? A lot of people be going on holiday at this time of year, and they're not. So a lot of people have probably thought, you know what, I'll just go and buy the kit and I'll buy it for my kids because I might have money. I know a lot of people are struggling, but other people may have money that
because they haven't been able to go
because they
out.
haven't been able to go anywhere. And also, if you let's be honest, right, at this, people are always looking for luxuries to give the kids and stuff. Kids have probably gone without, or kids are struggling, and they probably thought, you know what, you deserve that. You haven't had other things because we haven't been able to do anything. We aren't going to pictures, we aren't going on days out, blah blah blah. So you know what, I'll buy the new kit, and they probably bought them for themselves as well. So,
well, fair enough, isn't it?
There's a lot of things you got to factor in.
Yeah. Harrison says Chenzel Under rumours have gone quiet. They loved him. He is good, Chenzel Under, to be fair, and we have been linked with him a lot. But a lot of those links were in a swap deal for Moise Kean, really, weren't they? And I don't know whether Everton are ready to give up on Moise Kean yet.
No, I don't think they are.
And then we'd need another striker then, wouldn't we? And so I'd like Under. His left foot's brilliant.
The thing about, listen, we had anyone who was watching us yesterday on the live on Patreon, we had Andy at the Perth, and we had a really good discussion about Moise Kean. I think we all have slightly different takes on Moise Kean, but I think we all want him to do well. No one wants to get rid of him. We want him to do well. We just had all that different interpretations on the progress he's made. People asking questions like, why does he play instead of, why isn't Dominic Calvert-Lewin not on the bench in him? Well, Dominic Calvert-Lewin comes, plays and does a job. He's a Premier League footballer. He'll run all day for you. He's fit all the time. He's still doing it in the 90th minute. He's still holding the ball up. He's still running into space, chasing. I think the problem with Moise Kean has been, certainly coming off the bench, and this is what we were talking about yesterday, coming off the bench, he doesn't have an effect. So the question is then, well, do you start him? Then you have to look at it and say, well, when does he deserve to start games instead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Well, he certainly didn't before lockdown. Some people could say that, all right, Dom didn't score in lockdown, but I still think he was having an effect on the game. I think, Sheffield United game, I thought he played really well without actually scoring. There was other games he didn't play well. The manager has to make that decision, and he's chose to bring him into the last game when he scored, and that's great now for his confidence going forward. And what you've got to start looking for from Moise Kean from next season is he going in every day in training? Is he working hard? Is he showing the manager that if one of the other two starts slipping, is he ready to go in and take his place? And I imagine the minute that starts happening, he will start playing football. He will start playing games of football, and the front two won't have it their own way all the time, and that's fantastic. That's exactly what you want. You want Dominic Calvert-Lewin and you want Richarlison on their toes all the time. If Richarlison doesn't have a good game or a couple of good games, then it's time to introduce Moise Kean, or the same with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and that's what we all want. And I think as long as the lad wants it, and we've seen him training hard already and doing stuff, and he hasn't been in Belgium, then that's important. And it's on him. He's obviously a very talented player. Let's see how much we can get out of him. I think he's got a manager who believes in him now. And I think he's been at the club. He's been at the club now like a year, hasn't he? Pretty much a year. And we had all the nonsense, certainly after when Duncan took him off at United. That's it, he's going. But he hasn't, over the summer with the lockdown thing, made a stupid mistake. Fair enough, held his hands up. Oh, that's it, he'll go now. He's an Everton player. The manager said he's going to be an Everton player next season. And let's hopefully it all works out, because I think I think there's a very talented footballer in there.
Yeah, definitely. We need options up front. You can't rely on two lads for the whole season.
Yeah.
You want Moise Kean to be giving Ancelotti a headache, going, which one can I play? You want to be able to go to match. We want to be able to go to match. We want to be able to go to match, not knowing who the front two are going to be, and going, well, and if you see the team and one of them's on the bench, it's, you'd understand it's because the other lad deserves a go as well. And to be honest, I'd like times when the three of them play. I really would. But Keane's got to get up to a level. The other two, whether people like Dominic Calvert-Lewin or not, he's our top scorer. Yeah. So, with Richarlison,
right, there's a couple I just need to reel off, and some of them are very strange. Rilo says peas or custard. I only asked that question because I find it very, very strange.
Yeah, it's like
they're not the same thing, are they?
No.
So,
and to be honest, I'd shy away from both of them.
Terry McAllister says, what is your go-to summer soft drink? I mean, listen to this. This lad's either living the dream or he's down on the south coast chasing dinghies. He says, peach, iced tea or lemon Fanta.
That's him. They're his.
I like lemon Fanta, yeah. Personally, I tend to drink, I have like these little squeezy bottles and I have water with the squeezy, with the flavoured, in it. And after I have my run, I have a big thing of that with ice. And that's my go-to, that's my go-to drink.
That's over the last week or so, I've had some like cans or stuff. I don't even know why. I just like when it's this hot. But normally I just have water or
I'm
tea.
Staying away from
I shouldn't really. To be honest, the first one I've had for about 4 days. But generally I just drink water or tea.
I mean, this one from Glenn Watson says it's a ped-only question. But I don't like that on this channel. This is a partnership.
No, but I feel as though some of the ped-only ones are just...
Well, I want your input on it. Homer Simpson, Fred Flintstone, Peter Griffin. Choose one of them to be your tag team wrestling partner. You have to fight the other two. Who do you choose as your partner? See, I'm going to go for Peter Griffin because we've seen in that fight with the chicken that he's got longevity, that he's got stamina, and he can take a punch as well. He'll stay in the fight longer. Whereas I think with Homer, Fred Flintstone, listen, he's keeling over with some kind of like disease at any minute. He's from the Stone Age. Homer, he's going to have a bypass problem, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to go with Peter Griffin. I think he's got longevity in there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So we get back to...
You got any thoughts on that?
No. I do like
me.
Peter Griffin. He is quite funny. Terry says his wife's named Lisa, so whenever she asks him to practically do anything, his reply in his Tommy Wiseau voice is, "You're tearing me apart."
You're tearing me apart!
Everton Vikings off to Clanberis tomorrow.
I like Clanberis.
Hoping it's not teeming
It's
down.
lovely, the little bridge and the little tea room on the water.
Go.
Floods though.
Oh
no, Clanberis. No, that's not Clanberis. That Clanberis is where the train. I'm thinking of the other one. It's where the train to Snowdon is. That's okay. Clanberis. Richard
Folks says, how does the prize money announcements affect Everton lads? Being snowed under today, so I thought I'd ask my Everton oracles. Well, to be honest, it probably gave us a little bit more money than we thought we were going to have. Because obviously contingencies were in place to pay back. They're still going to have to... They're still paying it back. They've took the full amount of money, which was what they should have got. And they're going to pay back what they'd agreed to pay back, but over a longer period. So it'll give us a bit more than we thought we were going to have. We'll see whether it makes a big difference or not. I don't know.
Glenn Watson says, you go on Celebrity Edition of Pointless. You get to pick one sporty partner. Do you pick Dinah Asher Smith, Jessica Ennis-Hill, Rebecca Adlington or Katrina Johnson-Thompson? It's Ennis-Hill for me. Ennis-Hill for me.
All day.
She's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She would.
She's the GOAT.
She would. Yeah, I think so. Aaron Hamilton says, all right, lads, have either of you been to Bahama Breeze on International Drive in Florida?
What is it?
I've driven up and down International Drive.
See, I haven't been to Florida.
Many times.
I haven't been to Florida for 13 years.
I don't know what Bahama Breeze is.
A lot of differences since
Aaron, hit me up in a minute with what it is.
Sometimes you ask us questions, and they're great questions, but you just need that little bit extra context to them.
William Gilligan says, you're watching at home, absolute ball soup going on here. Oh, I just realised what ball soup is. It's roasting. Adam Lilford says, do excuse my ignorance on the subject of FFP. If it's all about not overspending and living within your means, then why am Man United okay to be up to their eyeballs year in, year out of debt and nothing is said?
Because they're in debt to their owners. Aren't they? They're in debt to the Glazers.
That does make a mockery, though.
No, I know it does, but they're in debt to the Glazers because the Glazers, essentially, what the Glazers did was they bought the club with its own money. So they took money out of the club, and now so the club is essentially always paying them. So they're in debt to them, and that doesn't really affect FFP. And really it shouldn't, because it's not real debt, and that's the whole point of why Man United fans hate the Glazers, is because that is not debt. That is debt to the owner, but that's because
They still obviously work within FFP legislation, don't
But
they?
they bring in that. So all that
But they
means
bring
is
that
that
money in,
they're
so-
bringing in all this money, and the Glazers are just siphoning it away, allegedly. In case anyone.
Bevang 03 says, how about the Algerian winger at Brentford? At Lynn says it's Ben Rama. Great player.
See, people are in the comments are talking about this Bahama Breeze, but are not saying what it is.
What is it?
Just, it's not like the townhouse, is it?
Just tell us. An American one. Just tell us what it is, please. Everton Viking says, is there anyone from our youth team that could possibly step up in the same way as Gordon has, becoming a bit of a squad player? The only one I really can see is Tyler Onyango at this moment in time.
Ashley being
And
interesting
Ryan
one.
Ashley's one who's probably
Because
on
only
the
because of
verge.
that, only because of the right back position and the fact that, but
Joe Hilton says, any chance of the townhouse being a sleeve sponsor?
see, I think that'll be controversial.
It would be controversial.
It'd be controversial. Be more controversial than that legal cannabis one, wouldn't it?
It would.
Here's one.
Go on.
Go on. I was going to say, Glenn is on my level today. He says, watch Demolition Man last night.
Oh, yeah.
You can only have one of these for the rest of your life, because this is a reference to in Demolition Men. There was a franchise food war, and Taco Bell won it. But let me just throw this curveball in there, Glenn. I was watching it recently, and I think I've mentioned this on one of the shows, and they covered up all the Taco Bells with Pizza Hut, and they'd mimed out Sylvester Stallone saying Taco Bell with Pizza Hut. And it was because they did this random edit years later when they realised that people in the UK didn't have Taco Bell. So Pizza Hut must have paid them to have Pizza Hut in there for every time it went on TV. And it's so clear that it's not in the film. But anyway, he says, which one do you choose to... The others and all other franchises stop operating. So which one do you choose? KFC, Subway, Domino's, Burger King for the rest of your life. You can only choose one of them. Which one would you go with?
Say it again. Burger King.
You can only have KFC, Subway, Domino's, or Burger King for the rest of your life. Out of those four.
Subway.
Okay. I don't eat KFC because when I was a taxi driver, I transported KFC in a black bin bag. I put me off for life. Domino's, you can get other versions of pizza, which are nicer. Burger King, I do really like Burger King, but I usually can get other versions. So Subway actually is a good shout because there aren't that many variations on sandwiches in that, you know.
Yeah.
So,
fair play.
he also. What else is going on? There you go. AJ No says, Ped, which Everton player, another football player, would make the best wrestler? Jordan Pickford, because he's dead comical, would be a good wrestler.
Why would he be a good wrestler,
Because
though?
he's dead comical.
Because he's comical?
Yeah.
I know, but I just don't understand why that will make him a good
Because
wrestler.
wrestlers need to be comical. It's not all about high wire action, you know. Your favourite one's The Rock, because he's comical. Real Tour says, how much would you have to be paid to get into a ring with Mike Tyson?
Me?
Yeah. I'm asking the question.
And what, take digs off him?
Of course. Well, not in there to get a picture with a tiger, are you?
Frank Bruno got in and ran around and then got out.
Well, that's the question, though, isn't it? How much? Right.
5 million quid.
All right. What have they said to you?
You have to hit me with
All
a
right.
jab.
What have they said to you? What have they said to you? Right. We'll give you £100,000 to get into a ring with Mike Tyson, but if you can last a round, we'll give you $1 million.
No.
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 I
Not a
would.
chance.
I would.
Well, you might. You might.
But you're getting 100,000.
No, mate.
He's not going to kill you, is he?
You're quite.
Hang on. If he walked over to you and threw a dig,
and hit you,
you're not getting up, are you? No matter how hard he hits you, you're not getting up.
No.
You're taking the fall and you're walking away with your 100,000.
No. Listen, if you want to go in for that, if someone offer you, fair enough. Fair enough. I've got no...
Kezi Kaufman says best... He's obviously American because he says best soda. Coca-Cola, Sprite, Fanta, Mountain Dew.
Coca-Cola.
Sprite for me. It's a Sprite win there. Ellis Quanton says, would you take Ollie Watkins?
You know what? I don't know.
Villa are interested.
Villa are interested in him, aren't they? I don't know. He does look like a good player. I just don't know whether he'd offer much more than what we've got.
It's not a priority position, is it?
No. He is a good player, though.
He is a good player.
I think it'd be interesting to see what he does if Villa do get him, if he can adapt or not. So, Ian Beale says, lads, your action man feet don't hinder your mobility, but you can't hide them with flares. Thought I'd elaborate on Peyton. So do the real size. It's just. I'll be honest, Ian. It's quite warm, and I just don't know whether I can process it.
Lynn says, "I'd get in the ring with Tyson for 500 quid as I need a new fridge."
Lynn,
Number one, Lynn.
Lynn says it.
Number one, Lynn. I feel like you could get a fridge for less than 500. You know, and number two, I just think that says a lot, everything about you, Lynn, that you're prepared. That's what you're prepared. I think there's other things you could earn money for than going at Mike Tyson in the ring.
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of getting in with a former world heavyweight champion in the world who was an absolute machine and getting punched by him. It's not something that I've got on my list that I want to do.
No,
the fella owned the tiger.
It's a lot of people own tigers. Joey Exotic owned tigers, and I'd get in a ring with him.
Yeah,
that's the only ring I'd get in.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't quantify whether you're hard or not. Whether you own a tiger.
Hang on, is there even any discussion here whether Mike Tyson's hard? Hang on.
If you had to only get it, hang on. If you could only get in the ring with one of these things, right? Which one would it be?
Not again.
A tiger or Mike Tyson?
Tyson.
So you would get in a ring with Mike Tyson?
If my only choice was him or a tiger, yes, of course. For crying out loud. Right. Robin Tricker says, who is your favourite ever Everton midfielder? And why is it Alex Nyako? You've just asked who it is. And then you've said, why is it Alex Nyako?
Joe Parkinson.
Peter Reid. Where are you?
Terry says, for 100k to $1 million, I'd get in bed with Mike Tyson. Never mind the ring.
Getting in bed with him is a different thing.
Isn't he fighting a shark?
He's fighting a shark.
He's not. He's doing the shark. We did a whole show on that once, didn't we? Swimming against a shark.
We did.
I mean, it shows what you get here. Like.
Isn't he fighting Roy Jones Jr. though?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Sean, 1967 says, top heavyweight punchers kill me immortals. Exactly, mate. That is why.
But isn't that just a risk you take?
No, it isn't.
Isn't that just a risk?
No, mate.
No,
it isn't.
No.
Neil Overall says, lads, make my football day. Neil, tell us how old you are.
Tell us what you're doing. Please add context to questions.
Please. He also wants to know how we're filming inside Goodison.
Oh, we'll add in.
Kevin Morales says, why do people consider Rooney an Everton legend? He can't stand him.
I don't think people do consider him an Everton legend.
I don't think he's an Everton legend, is he?
No, he's an Everton player.
He's one of the best players ever to play for Everton, I think, in terms of what he did in his career. Maybe not while he had an Everton shirt on. Certainly one of the best players we've ever produced, isn't he?
Ian Beale says Mike Tyson with Action Man hands.
Okay. All right. Will says, speaking of Tyson, thoughts on his Legends League? I don't know what that is.
Neither do
I.
I don't know what that is. Do you ever remember the Mike Tyson cartoon?
No.
Okay.
Last of the Corinthians says, would you get in the ring with a one-arm Mike Tyson?
You could still punch
your head off, couldn't he? my God. Ruari McCabe says, if you could only sign one relegated player from the Prem, who would you choose?
Decore.
Yeah, Decore.
Marley says, and because he's asked this loads of times, so I feel like I've got to answer it. He says, hi lads, would you take Vlasic back?
No.
No, I wouldn't. Glenn Watson says, in your opinion, who is more famous, Tony the Tiger or from Frosties or Coco the Monkey from Cocoa Pops? I think it's Frosties.
I think it's Tiger.
Tony the Tiger, isn't it? It's got to be. He's renowned all the way around the world.
Definitely the best.
Yeah, I think Tony. He's great, isn't he, at the end of the day? He's great. He's great. That's what he is.
He's great. What 3 land animals, this from LP, would you avoid if you had to kill the top 50 deadliest land animals using only a samurai sword? That's dark. You know what? Hang on, let me just, before you try and answer that, because this is for you, right? Are people just like losing their mind a bit because it's roasting? Where are these?
So which 3 land animals would I kill?
In the top 50 deadliest land animals with a samurai sword.
Scorpions.
Is that an animal?
Yeah, it is now. I don't like scorpions.
Spiders are sneaky, like, you don't want them. Snake, mate, snake. Any kind of snake activity.
Yeah.
Snakes are there.
See, I don't think I could kill a lion or a tiger or a bear or mine.
What if it was coming for you, though?
Well, if it was coming, then it would probably...
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
If you had the samurai...
I've got pace, lad. You've seen my pace. I've got a turn of pace. Like
you haven't got a turn of pace quicker than a lion.
Lions are No, lions aren't all that. Let's have a chat about lions.
No.
No, what, right? They're too busy.
You just turned into Durham.
They're asleep most of the tigers are the ones you got to worry about. Tigers are the real heavy hitters. The sneaky little things. They come through with their shoulders.
Stealth.
Like Shere Khan.
Stealth.
And they are stealthy.
You got to admire the stealth.
But they're very much like a 100-metre runner. I think if I could get past 100 metres, I think I'd outrun. I think I've got the stamina to beat a tiger. Just that first 100 metres. Do you know what I mean?
100 metres? It'd have you before you got it 100 bloody foot.
No.
Hang on, 100 paces?
I don't know if I could, like... If it was me versus an animal, like, I'd have to obviously show up. But I don't know if I could... See, when I see these pictures of, like, hunters and stuff, they repulse me. Absolutely repulse me. I think it's the most disgusting thing in the world. Oh, look, there's a baby tiger that's completely defenceless. And I've got this huge gun.
Okay, sound. Matthew Lamb wants to know if I get in the ring with an orange club. Nope. Where are we? Kezi Kaufman says, hi, much love from Kenya, Nairobi. Hello, Kezi.
What if Mike Tyson, right, had really, really padded gloves, right? Really, like padded gloves that couldn't hurt you. They couldn't hurt you. But he had orange clubs on them.
No.
And every time he hit you, the only impact would be you would get a taste and a smell of orange clubs.
No.
You wouldn't get in the ring with him.
No.
Be like, hey Barry, I want to get in the ring with you.
Neil Overall says, what if Mike Tyson was given the short arms?
Is that Mrs. Overall's son?
Yeah. Given the short arms of Pickford, would he take him on then?
To be fair, his reach wouldn't be great, would it?
Mad.
Peter James says, tigers better than all the cats are fighting too. They use both paws, whereas lions use one. Lions are lazy, aren't they? They're lazy.
They are lazy. They just send the women out to do it.
What lions have got is good PR. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't have been called the Lion King. It should have been called the Tiger King.
Okay. Marley says, if we had 100 million to improve the main 3 positions of worry, keeper, midfield and defence, that's his. Who would you get?
That's for you.
Sangari, Kel Surprise. I'd get Decore, I think. I'd get Leon. Would I get Leon Bailey? Leon Bailey. Max Aarons. And Gabriel.
I just like the fact that someone's posted that Jonas Lossell watches Toffee TV.
Jonas loves it.
He does. He is. Andrew Hughes says, Mars, double decker or Twix? Double decker.
Double
It's
decker.
all day, because you get a bit of everything in there, aren't you?
You're right.
You're in the soft nougat, but then the underlying biscuit.
Double deckers, Mars are sound with a cup of tea, Mars bar. But double deckers, you get in a mixture. It doesn't just do one thing.
Yeah.
It's
variety,
like,
isn't it? It's like a selection box all on its own.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. You know, your value for your money, which is very hard to get these
We've got to
days.
get away from just doing one thing, like very much like our midfielders. Lewis says, wasps get rid of other insects that damage crops.
Good.
They're always confused because you typically see them around August to September as the queen hatches around May and they get sent out the nest to live out the rest of their lives, according to what he's read. So they're just lonely.
See,
I mean, that's harsh, but they still
I've
shouldn't be coming at you.
No, I've got no problem with wasps. They are what they are. They loiter around bins and Alton Towers.
Yeah, but they come for you, though. If you think...
I'm not... Right, have you seen the size of you? Right.
I don't care. Hang on, if you walk out of here now, right?
If there's 50
and
wasps...
there was a giant outside,
yeah,
right? Would you just go over to him and start going, not bad? Well, you
I might do if I told
probably would.
If I told
I wouldn't. I'd go, you know what? See that big thing there? I'm going away
But
from
how
that.
do you know that it is going nowhere? How do you know that it just doesn't want to get past you?
I'm not moving. There's a lot of area.
There mightn't be. There mightn't be.
Mate, no. William Gilligan asked the question of the day. Nias or Tosin? Who do you like more?
Nias or Tosin? Tosin.
Okay. Dennis says, hi guys, as usual, keep me amused and informed. Can you explain the FFP thing?
Not really.
No, Dennis, you know what? I'll get Mr. Blaine
Don't spend
involved.
more than you earn.
I'll get Mr. Blaine.
Kevin Morales says, why don't you get Adam Partington on your channel? Adam's been on. Adam is sat right
why
there.
Though?
What?
Why?
Why what?
Why don't we get on?
Well, we had him on though.
I know we have.
We've had him
Adam's
on.
been on.
Lives in Stoke. He's had a baby. He's got a busy life. He's got a job.
Rumour is that Tadibo is Barca player that has COVID-19. Interesting. Where are we? Keith says kits are selling well because we have Carlo and company and we're being positive for the
Carlo and company. It sounds like someone would sell small biscuits.
Cal says, good afternoon, lads, from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Currently in line for the big one. Fair play to you, mate.
What, you're getting the Blackpool job?
He's on, yeah.
He's in line for it.
Alexander Hoffler says, well, lads, what's your favourite ice cream? And is it a bowl or cone? Tucking into a bowl of honeycomb right now.
I like a bowl. I tell you what I like. There's a new Netflix and chill.
Flavour ice cream?
That's what it's called.
Oh,
It's at Ben and Jerry's. It's so nice.
Ben and Jerry's chocolate chip cookie dough says in a bowl. Says Gary.
Up the Ben and Jerry's.
I like
the up the Ben and Jerry's.
Dulce de leche.
Well, you.
But
see,
my favourite ice cream
in
the world, if I could just have one right now, would be a chocolate swirl from the Magic Kingdom.
Fair enough to you. Fair enough. What about
in a cup? Ooh, it's incredible.
Haagen-Dazs sounds like you're getting up to some naughtiness in the townhouse, though. I feel like, do you know what I mean? It's
just that flavour, dulce de leche. It's lovely. Okay. Derek says, hi guys, you think Moise Kean wasn't getting a full chance due to the fact our midfield and we needed an extra body to hold its own. If we can get Allen and Gabaman, we'll see DCL Kean. Right, the 4-3-3, I think the real problem,
I think what people have got to appreciate, right, is last season, when Carlo come in, he identified that our goal scorers were Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. And they would score goals if we put the ball in their general area. And they did, right? Those goals got us up to 12th, right? So
12th.
I know, but that's how sad that's what I'm saying, that's how sad it is. If you took their goals out of the equation, who else was scoring? Could you really take the chance on Moise Kean? Right? And this is what the manager said when the minute he come in, I'm playing 4-4-2 to the end of the season. This is what I'm going to set up with. That's going to get us to a safe zone. We get to the summer and we start rebuilding for next season. And that's what he's done. We probably will see more of Moise Kean next season because hopefully there'll be more room to experiment, more room to make changes, more room to see the lad. But don't forget the mess we were in till when Duncan took over.
James Parry's watching in Betsy Coward. Aaron says it's a Caribbean-style restaurant and bar. Like that Caribbean-style restaurants and bar, boys, the nicest ribs ever. I've not been, Aaron, because generally I don't stay on. I drive, so I'll be at the parks and then go to where I'm staying, which is generally, of late, being Emerald Isle, which is down on the 192, so it's quite a way away, and I wouldn't drive to International Drive just to go to a restaurant.
Do you find International Drive tacky?
Yeah, a little bit. But the problem with it as well is, though, the other thing with international drivers, mate, it takes literally 45 minutes from drive to one end or the other because you've got traffic lights every 30 yards. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, when we went last time, we stayed off the 192, and there's loads of nice gas down there. International drive is like, it is tacky. Like, I mean, I stayed there 2002. And it's
Some
great
people love it because it's like there's loads.
No, if you're staying there, it's good because there's loads. If you're staying there, you can walk to different restaurants and stuff or whatever. I remember when this went in 2002, and this is going to sound like the most nerdiest thing ever, but you know, it's me, so it's all right. So basically, what was happening was, like the way we used to get TV shows in this country ages after the premiere.
Yeah.
So it was I think it was the 4th or the 5th season of Angel.
Angel, yeah.
I love Angel. I love Buffy. So it was premiering that night.
Wasn't that the fella out of
He was in Buffy.
Bones as well?
Yeah, David Bananas. So me and my missus walked over to International Drive, literally bought everything on the menu at Burger King. We had like 2 bags each, and we just went back to our hotel room and just sat and watched the premiere of Angel that wasn't going to be on UK TV for ages, and just had all this Burger King
in
scran.
Florida and you sat
I know,
in the room
I know, but
all right, let's move on.
It was a rest time.
Fair play. Jake Thompson says you boys need Lynn on the show. The fridge joke had me dying. Kean says keep up the good work. Keith's favourite midfielder is Colin Harvey. Joe Hilton says if you won mega money on the lottery, would you carry on with Toffee TV?
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be here every day.
No, you'd employ
the best people. I'd employ the best people.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
See you later.
Definitely. On a serious note, this is from Ian. There's talk of Tyson v Roy Jones Jr. Who do you fancy? Jones Jr. does a fair few charity fights. I'd still go with Tyson, personally.
Yeah. Tyson won't see it as
he won't see it as like a
he'd be like,
knockabout.
I'm gonna rip your head off there. I'm gonna rip your head off.
Is that why we talk?
Yeah. Robbie Howard says, Ped, if you had to pick a player to fall pregnant, like the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which male player would you pick? You'd have to then help them pass off as a woman. Jordan Pickford, it mean he'd miss 9 months.
Lucas has put us the 5th round, and Baz, the Orange Club swinging ninja, is doing Mike Tyson dirty. Tyson holds Baz close and shouts, "Hello, get it!" and once again bites his Orange Club ear off. Lucas is too hot, I think. He's like hallucinating.
Andy McGregor says, Baz, have a word, hotel watching Angel. Well, it was 18 years ago for a start.
I've had a word, you heard me.
It was 18 years ago, right? And we'd probably been dead busy that day. We'd probably gone the parks, and we were coming home and having a rest and watching, and we just decided to go to a takeaway, get loads of scran, which was dead nice because they had like a $1 menu, and then go back to our hotel and watch a TV show for an hour. And we were probably going to do that anyway.
Okay. Max Barlow says if we were to buy a new keeper, which I think is highly unlikely in this window, who would you rather have out of the goalkeepers linked? Salvatore Sirigu, Mattia Perrin or Sergio Romero? I'd probably go Romero because he's been over here and he's played in games for United, and
fair play.
That's probably why I'd go for him.
He doesn't have to move house.
And doesn't have to move house, yeah. This is word for word what Cava Sol, he called us, tweeted Sky Cava.
Okay.
Borussia Dortmund have set Manchester United a deadline of 10th of August 2026 to pay their 300 million asking price for Jude Bellingham.
What? Okay.
Sky Cava.
Adventures of Steve has asked me, Prime Morales or Richarlison?
Prime Morales.
Prime Morales. I'm going to go Richarlison on that one.
Yeah. Definitely. Keith says in his prime, John Conte was the best pound for pound boxer.
Yeah. Kirby's John Conte.
Yeah. Would you get Dalot? Keith always asks. What I've seen of him, I think he's all right. I think he's a good player. I haven't seen it. He's only played 20 games for Manchester United, but he's always looked decent. He's a good physique on him, isn't he? Good height. It gets up and down. if the 10 million is accurate, then 10 million's not that bad, is it? So, yeah, maybe go for him. Someone said I watched Tyson working on his body shots. I wouldn't get in the same country as him. Where are we here? David Brooks transfer. They're saying £45 million for him. Mad, isn't it? Because he is a good player, but 45 million for David Brooks.
Good player, but not 45 million's worth.
No. Would you rather never play PES again or play FIFA? No. Would you rather never play... Hang on. Oh, okay. So would we rather never play PES again or actually start playing FIFA?
Well, I need a game in my life.
So we'd have to have a...
Samuel Thorndale Leach says, Ped, how many states you been to in the US? Okay. Maine, New York, Florida, Massachusetts, Texas, Nevada, Phoenix, California.
Smashed it there, haven't you?
There's a few in it. Well travelled, man. Well travelled.
I mean, Phoenix isn't a state, but...
It is a state.
Arizona.
Arizona, I mean. Sorry. Arizona, sorry. You're right. Sorry. I couldn't think of it, yeah. Arizona.
There you go. Marley asked, would you sell Pickford?
Yeah.
All you need is
a one-legged
bid,
dog,
isn't it? You need a bid before... I guess a lot of Everton's players would be sold if the bid's coming. That's the thing, isn't it? Where are we? Yeah. Owen says, do you reckon we need to replace Pickford, or does he still have time to turn it round?
I'd sell him, but that's up to... Listen. I don't think his problems are in his actual goalkeeping. I think they're elsewhere.
Do you think he is big enough, as in stature, tall enough to be for Everton to... If Everton were to get in the Champions League, could they do it with Jordan Pickford in goal?
No.
In your opinion?
Andy, I was in Maine for 4 weeks. So...
Who's this? The Piv piving you off?
4 weeks I was in Maine for, so don't start
As he pived
trying
you
to
off?
be funny with me, because I can piv back as well as
If
anyone.
you need to.
Yeah.
Andy asked, would you wear a pair of Sam Allardyce's kicker shoes from the interview with Carragher for a £5?
I don't think
Is actual ones that he had on, or just ones like
I don't
that?
think these fit me.
Yeah.
I think I've got man-sized feet.
Okay. Allardyce hasn't got man-sized feet.
I don't think so. I think he's got action man-sized feet.
Okay. All right. Where are we? Would you get in... Darkheart asking me, would I get in the ring with Tyson for a round or get a Liverpool tattoo? What a horrible choice.
You've been asked, you need to answer it.
Get in the ring with Tyson.
But you wouldn't get in for money.
It'd have to be money and the
odd.
threat of a tattoo.
That's an odd...
Yeah, because before it felt like I had a choice. Now you're telling me I'd have to have a Liverpool tattoo.
Glenn Watson says, what 90s celebrity would you most like to self-isolate with? Kelly Brook. She's not 90s, is she, Kelly Brook?
Late
She's more 2000s. Denise Van Outen, Eureka Johnson, Zoe Ball. Kelly Brook.
You're going with Brook.
Oh, all day with the
everyone's
Brook, girl.
choosing Brook there.
All day with the Brook.
Let's hope that soon we can talk about new
I just want
players.
to talk footy. I don't.
I mean, Carl says, hi lads, is John going to be on the show soon discussing money matters? Yes, he is. I'll speak to him tonight, Carl, see when he can do. I've had a couple asking for John's input on the COVID situation, stuff like that. And then get his opinion, especially with like the rebate stuff and all that. I think it'd be interesting. Turkish website Sporks is reporting that Fenerbahce want Cenk Tosun. Them and West Brom. Interesting.
Please take him.
Interesting.
Please take him.
Interesting. But we need to be able to move people out so we can get people in, don't we? That's the top and bottom of the whole thing.
Dov Kaufman, I don't think you should ever start a message with "forced my American girlfriend," because I might stop reading. But he said, "Forced my American girlfriend who has never watched a football match to watch all the COVID Everton games. A shame this all she knows within the sport."
Oh, she'll be looking at it going, I'm not watching another one of those games again. Listen, get the likes up to over 200, 500 of you.
Lynn has took the fridge comments and she's gone mad. Lynn has said, if we get back in the stadiums this season and you visit the Hawthorns, there is a swingers hotel by the ground you could stay in. Might be able to get a good discount for block bookings.
Is that the Hawthorns equivalent to the townhouse then?
Be called the townhouse.
The townhouse.
Townhouse.
Fair enough. I mean, Lynn's the person to know.
Lynn's got the bowl and she wants your keys. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think she wants my keys. I think she might want your keys.
I don't think there's any keys.
Who knows? She might want any keys. Lynn's just being nice. What she's doing is giving you information about the area.
I'm keyless.
That's all. Keyless in West Bromwich. Where are we here?
Dark Art says, how many likes for an impression for an Al Pacino impression from me?
250.
What are we on now?
206. 500 watching. Should really be 300, but 250 we'd go because we're stopping in 5. Dave Coakley says, what do you think
Big Oaky
are the reasons why nobody has gone in for Sangare yet? Me and my mates think he'd be a steal. Is he injury prone? No, he's played most of the games again for Toulouse this year. I don't know. It's the reality. I really don't know. I don't understand why we haven't, because it's a big hole in our midfield that needs filling. And he is the man to fill it, essentially. 6'4", 6'5", up and down, strong in the tackle. Can he improve on the ball? Yes, he can. Is he a good competitor? Yes, he is. And it's 15 million maximum. They've been relegated. I think he's got something like 11 months left on his current deal. I don't understand why we haven't, to be honest, but... Terry McAllister says, if you could go back and make one transfer, where are we? One transfer happen out of Moutinho or Banega, who would have changed history the most for us?
Say that again.
Tell you in a minute. Jacko 0590
Go on.
says, forget wasps, Baz. The Brazilian wandering spider. One bite gives you a trouser one for an hour. Utter tossers wouldn't let me type election with the R. Hi, Ped. Also says hello to you. Hello, Jacko.
Would you be willing to be bitten?
No.
By a spider
No.
for that reaction? Because what that's doing is the same...
Here's a story. Just a very quick story. Right? My niece went...
I don't know where this is going.
went travelling around the world a couple of years ago. Her and a boyfriend who was... They went off for this travelling around the world for a year together. 3 weeks later, he wasn't a boyfriend anymore. But they were in... I think they were in Thailand. And he got bitten by a spider. And they were out somewhere. And he got bitten by a spider. And obviously his legs started to swell. Yeah. And they were like saying to the people, and they were like, we got the spider. And they were like, no. And the fella went, I'll be honest with you. If you're not dead in 10 minutes, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
He went, there's nothing we can do. We're half an hour from a thing. I honestly think if someone would have told me that, I'd have been dead in 9.
Had an heart attack.
Yeah. Can you imagine it?
Well, the thing about like if you were to be bitten by a spider and you
great question, by the way,
and it means that you're up for the game, then it's affecting your heart. It's making blood pump around your heart faster, around your body faster, because essentially it's the same thing as what blue pills do for you. It's for your blood pressure. It makes your heart pump faster, and that's what does the trick.
There you go. What would be your ultimate meal mixing items from Mackey's, Burger King and KFC? That's off real tours.
I don't... So you can't beat a cheeseburger from McDonald's. You just can't.
Quarter pounder with cheese, or just those little, like, what used to be 99
A double
pence,
cheeseburger.
or a
They're amazing,
too
mate.
much meat for
They're
me.
amazing, mate. If you get one of them, what would you get from the fries from Burger King are better.
Yeah.
Um,
I used to like Zinger burgers from. Okay, I know.
I did. No, I did. I did.
Ruined me
I
KFC
did. I did.
experience, but
Till I found out.
I did like Zinger burgers because I like the spice of them. Luke says the player you've hated the most as an Everton player. For me, it was Williams in his last season.
Hated the most as an Everton player. I mean, there's a few.
Williams wasn't great, was he?
There's a few.
TP says, lads, I still can't believe I haven't had my refund from last season.
You haven't.
Is Everton one?
You might
Mate,
need
get
to get
on
in touch
to
with them. I know I had a couple of problems with mine, but I got it in the end. You need to get onto them.
Get onto them. Andy McGregor says, who's the better baddie? Darth Vader, Thanos, Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman, or Voldemort?
Thanos. You could bring moons down from onto the surface.
Yeah, but does that qualify him as like the best baddie? Just because he was like the most powerful?
Gene Hackman was good in Superman,
Yeah.
but I don't know how many people will have watched that. But he was a brilliant.
Voldemort's horrible, though.
Yeah, he's horrible, but he got took down quite easily, I found, in the end.
What about Vader? Vader was good when bad, didn't he?
Vader's amazing, but it's not. But it's the problem with Vader is you don't really see his best years in the films. So, you know what I'm saying? His best years were before that, which I think we'll see eventually back on screen.
Samuel says thoughts on Santa Maria potentially going to La Liga. He'll do well. He'll do well if obviously Villarreal, isn't it, have tried to get him, need to up the bid. We'd have him obviously here, but what can you do? Stuart says, would I eat one orange club every day or have a Liverpool tattoo for life? I'd eat an orange club every day and just throw up.
Definitely. AJ No says, which DC superhero villain and Marvel superhero and villain would make the best Everton player and who would make the best manager? I mean, they're not really in the same fields, are they? I mean, as Gary Ward's mentioned, the Flash should be fantastic because he's obviously got the pace. But has he got the control? You know what I really like about the Flash is he can get up and down the bar very quick, but his crossing's really poor.
Yeah, he is poor.
He always hits the first man. Always hits the first man.
B. Wood says, Baz, surprised you and Andy didn't give Kondogbia a mention. I mentioned before on the footy show, left-footed centre midfielder Valencia haven't made Europe. Well, he's just put the whole squad up for sale, apart from Raya. And Kondogbia is one, it's just that he's 27, a bit older than obviously Sangari, but he is another one. He's a good player, Kondogbia, definitely. Dov, him and his brother are both watching right now.
He's right.
He's in Kenya and I'm in Boston.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Jerry Cad says Aaron Ramsey on a free. Dave turned around and said, that's not real. It's Ramsey's agent and stuff said, it's not. It's nonsense. Austin Bunn says, your take on the Leon Bailey links. Yeah, good player, very good player. Obviously his agent, AD Ward, he's just got AD Ward appointed in to try and get him a move here. He'd be a good player for us. Dennis Manning wants to know if I'm Sangari's agent. I'd love to be, because if it was, he'd be at Everton now. Who would win in a Premier League Managers Royal Rumble? That's for you.
I'm trying to think of all the managers. I think Sean Dyche should have a good go. He's dirty. I think
Dyche looks like he can handle himself, and as that there, he looks like he'll do what needs to be done, doesn't he? And he'd always look for marginal gains, I think. Dyche. Is there any?
Klopp would hide under the ring and then wait for the last person and then jump in on the other side and push them out. That's what he'd do.
And then be like that.
And be like that.
It's me.
And they'd all be like, yeah, you're amazing, you're amazing. Yeah. You know, he cheated.
They'd say he knocked 18 other managers out.
Glenn Watson says, if you lived in the Wild West in the Red Dead 2 era, where on the map would you have lived and what would have been your profession?
No, where would I have lived? I like where he started.
In the cold?
No, sorry, the first camp when you come down and then you got your camp and then, or is it the second one where there's the little river next to it, isn't it? That one was all right. I didn't like when you went over to buy Sandonine in the house and all that. I
Sandonine,
didn't
no.
like that one.
I actually like, I tell you what, the woman who lives at the very top
You
of the
made
map.
up with her,
Oh,
aren't
she's
you?
boss here, mate.
Where
I'm
Gaff was.
devastated when you can't go back to her. Because right next to where
Looks
she lived,
after you as well, doesn't
but
she?
right next to where she lived, there was that, there was the water, wasn't it? There was a waterfall.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all the mooses used to go there on the water. And and that was amazing, that, because there was a train track as well, so you could just follow the train tracks down, and you'd be in, like, the normal civilization,
Yeah, yeah.
so...
Shrikar wants to know, would you take Guendouzi?
No.
Oh.
Crap.
So we didn't answer Terry's question before. Moutinho or Banega? Which
Oh,
one would they have made more of a difference?
Banega, I think, because I think he would have been exactly what we needed for years.
Moutinho is he's still brilliant now, isn't he? And he would have been good for us, but I think I'm with you. I think Ever Banega would have made us a much
Why
better
do people
side.
want to know if I could be Baz in a prime Baz
He's
in a
like
fight?
6'4".
Why would you want to know that? Why is also like? Why do you want to know about people beating each other up?
It's hot and the agitating. Ahmed says controversial, but would you sell Dean for 50 million, freeing up around 80 to comply with FFP and buy Dalot and Reguilon and 2 centre midfield players? Proper football manager shout, but couldn't help myself. Would you consider selling Luca for 50 odd and replacing him with Reguilon from Seville, isn't he?
I don't know. If it kickstarted the team, then maybe. But he's such an important player. But he shouldn't be such an important player. There should be other players on the pitch, which makes it even hard. It's a difficult one, that. But
John says, "Hi lads, late tonight, but I'm
Sunday.
watching with my 2 lounge fans on. French doors open and Conservative doors open, chilling." Carl says, "What's the chances of getting Brands on the show?" I don't know.
maybe we've changed our name to like Toffee TV.
Yeah,
Camp.
with pancakes, maybe. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Say that about everything. Right, come on,
That's
we're done.
it, we're done.
We're done. We've done well over an hour.
Yeah, thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
It's been excellent. We will see you.
Even the saboteurs.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. But we'll see you tomorrow on Patreon.
Yeah, if you're a
That's the
patron,
place to
we'll
be.
see you tomorrow.
That's the place to be.
And hopefully there'll be more stuff.
We do this every day, apart from Fridays. That's our day off. We do this 4 times a week on Patreon. We do loads of live shows on Patreon. That's what's so good about Patreon.
There you
The
go.
link is in the description.
Dark Art says Red Dead is ace. It is. And we'll leave it there because that's good. Right.
What a way to finish it. See you
Take
later.
it easy.
Bye now.